Welcome back to the Primal Stream. I'm Charlie Bingham, and I want to talk to you if you are this person. You are responsible. You show up to school and work, your family, the people who are counting on you, your friends. You are a conscientious person. You dislike injustice. You speak out about it. You defend weak people. You are one of the good guys. But you're also tired. You are full of emotional poison. You find yourself to be angry and jealous and resentful, regretful. You find it difficult to rest, to feel pleasure, to surrender, to celebrate yourself, to bask in love. This video is for you. Again, I'm Charlie Bingham, and my purpose of this stream, the Primal Stream, is to talk about primal living and primal encounter. As I've come to understand it, the human self is composed of two opposing, not opposing each other, but differentiated positions. We have a lower position and a higher position. Primal encounter is the encounter between these two positions. The lower position is on its own is dysregulated, is a victim of circumstance, is undirected, is lonely, is fearful and angry. The lower position self is without courage and without freedom and joy and creativity and love. So the purpose of this stream is to really talk about primal living. Primal living is where our life becomes an extension of prime, and prime is what I call the upper position of ourself. Prime is the identity that you have that is completely unique and unrepeatable. It is of greatest value. Living a life based on prime is a life well lived. It is a life without regrets, a life without without fear, without dishonesty, without pretending, without neurotic compulsions, addictions, without having to constantly redirect and reframe myself. So what is primal encounter? Primal encounter means that we honestly account for those things that separate us from our prime, our innermost self. And we take responsibility for those. We write them down, we talk about them, and we create space for our inner self to shine. If you are a religious person, you could think of prime as your soul, your God-given conscience, your God-given heart. If you're not religious, it really doesn't matter. It is the core of your humanity. It is the inner goodness that never dies. So this is a reminder to all of you and myself, who I am also, my life is a result of subprime living, right? I lived for many, many years without prioritizing my own primal living, my own primal encounter. So I still am dismantling the dregs of my old life. And so I just want to put a reminder out there, and I will be discussing this at length on this channel, A reminder that your success is not contingent on the effect that you have on other people. You will one day celebrate your successes and celebrate the joy and the opportunity and the pleasure and the fun and the love that you create with people around you. But there's a first step before doing any of that, and that is to become your own first love. And love has no boundaries. We cannot live a life of love with other people if we don't first eliminate the boundaries that prevent us from experiencing our true self, who we really are. And when you encounter your true self, which is what I call primal encounter, you'll understand that your needs are not dependent on your circumstances or other people, or even, if you will, if I could be so radical as to say, on God. It is one of the features of our human life that we are self-completing entities. We have an opportunity to self-complete, to become one with ourself, to become wholesome, to become completed, to become without blemish. And the place of being without blemish and the place of determining the blemish-free existence is not on the stage of public life. It is in our personal, our own body and mind. It is a sacred temple, if you will. Religion aside, coming to a place of harmony and love within the self is the apex of human achievement. And it is that base on which a life of love and service and meaning and accountability and development and joy and family and friendship and all those great assets that we all strive for. They're all based in primal encounter, in knowing and trusting in the higher self, the inner self that we have. So I just wanted to put this out there for all of us who are striving to be responsible, accountable, show up for our family, to be a light to others, or to be of meaningful service. I want to just remind that the core of love, the core of what we wish to bring to the people around us, is available only through self-discovery. We have to mine our own prime, and it's very important to understand and realize that my prime is not someone else's prime. My prime is not my pastor's prime. My prime is not my partner's prime. My prime is not my enemy's prime. My prime is not Jesus' prime. Everyone has their own prime, and it is uniquely valuable and uniquely important. And I cannot mine somebody else's prime. I cannot be touched in the deepest place of my mind through somebody else's prime. If I feel touched by another person and what they say or how they behave, it's because they are reminding me of my prime, of what I am, of who I am, of what I'm capable of. So this is a reminder to those of us who we seek our value in how we show up for the world. This is a reminder to pause. If you are feeling tired and you are feeling anxious and angry or depressed or difficult to rest, difficult to feel authentic joy and pleasure, Even though you try so hard and you really do show up and you try to anticipate other people's needs, and you're a good public servant and a good reliable family member and friend, if you still feel at the end of the day you don't feel that peace, that love, that heart of comfort and joy, and that your body is your true home, and you feel very unwaveringly peaceful and at home with yourself, I would urge you to stick around this channel and listen to some of the ideas that are being put forth here, about primal encounter and how to find the inner light, the inner life of yourself. It's such a gift. I would say that a person's prime is their only and their most valuable asset. And we are coming into this kind of world where it is the primal age. It is when every human being discovers the value of the self and can then give that self in service to others. We were born into a world where the greatest value was somebody's power, reputation, their money, how well they can perform a skill, how popular they are. We think of these things kind of lazily as the great value and the things that should be pursued, when truly the best value is what lies within you and what we have been given as human beings born into this world. So this is just a gentle reminder that if you feel like you're doing everything right, but you're still kind of dysregulated and unhappy, lonely, misunderstood, you just don't feel that real human touch happening in your life. You feel isolated or alienated or overwhelmed or stuck in blame or this kind of thing. This is a reminder to you. There's still an uncharted path for you, and it isn't in the world out there. It won't come from somebody else saying, "Great job, you did it." It's going to come from inside of yourself. It's going to come from making a decision to prioritize your own well-being. And I know this is very hard. I can speak from experience. I resisted this for so long and many years, even though my greatest mentors said to me again and again, you have to walk the path of yourself, and it is not a walk that anyone has ever done, and it's unique to you. And what you find is going to be utterly yours, not somebody else. And you can't do it through imitation. You have to do it through just unique, a totally unique and unrepeatable path. So stick around. We're going to talk more about primal encounter and primal living, and also about what does subprimal living look like. And we're going to try to parse out the difference and see if we can't all come together as a kind of a primal tribe, and we can help each other. We can, shed our own light and try to be of service to one another. But before any of that can happen, we have to make a priority of finding our own prime. And I love this word, prime. Prime means, like, a prime number is not divisible. So what that means is that what lies at the heart of every human is an unrepeatable, indivisible thing. It is a piece of God, if you will. If that word God has any meaning to you, I don't think it has to. I think primal encounter is something even more intimate and real than religious faith or prayer. So in my experience, the religious type of experience, and I am a student of religion, and I've taught and followed religious faith for some time, but the core of the religious experience is something that defies language, and it is incredibly personal, and it is not repeatable. It's not something you can, it's not really a, how can I put it? It's not exactly a skill you can learn or something you can imitate. It's something you have to come to with a totally naked mind and attitude, and like a readiness to just throw everything away or throw everything at the situation, which is my own becoming and my own primal encounter. I'll talk more about it in other videos, but I just wanted to reach out and say, if you are one of the conscientious people out there who is very tired and feels very unencountered, take take some time, listen to some of my videos, and hopefully we can find that primal experience together. I'm just one person who had my life really realigned deeply from doing this. A lot of the sort of mental patterns and emotional patterns that I had, I'm addressing them, and I'm finding them to be very, in a way, simply resolved by coming into contact with my own prime. So I can't wait to tell you more about my story, and so just my thoughts about what this all means. So thank you for joining along.